Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Moore, co-founder of Greenpeace and a lifelong environmentalist.
Dr. Patrick Moore speaks to the benefits of the PVC vinyl industry and its products.
I just want to say a few words for students, or in fact anybody who is learning about this world around us and the various materials and energies that we use in our daily lives. I started out as a student of the life sciences, of biology and biochemistry and genetics, but soon branched out to really be interested in all the earth sciences and science in general, the history and philosophy of science. One of the most important things, if we want to sort out in this internet and information age, or as some people have called it, misinformation age, because it's not easy to sort out the truth from the misinformation in today's world where we're swamped with so much stuff from all the medias and over the internet. And critical thinking is really the key. I learned this at an early age during my early university years. I took a course in critical thinking for science majors that really changed the way I looked at communication and how things were being written in the newspapers and magazines and television. There's an awful lot of agenda behind much of what we see written. A lot of things are written as if they're true when in fact they're really just guesswork, or they're even spin to make us think something is true when maybe it isn't. I started out as an academic, but back in the 60s, because of the climate of the time, the Cold War, the Vietnam War, the concern for the environment, I became a radical environmental activist in my younger years and was 15 years a co-founder and leader of Greenpeace. During that time, I had to apply my knowledge of science to all of the different issues that faced the environmental movement, in particular when it came to complicated issues of chemistry and biology. One of the reasons I broke with Greenpeace in the mid-1980s was over the element chlorine. Greenpeace calls chlorine the devil's element. They say that chlorine should be banned from all manufacturing processes, from everything, that we should simply not use this element in the periodic table. On the other hand, it's important to note that chlorine is the most important element in the periodic table for public health, for medicine, for clean water, for the prevention of the spread of disease. The reason chlorine is the most important element for public health is precisely because it's toxic to bacteria, bacteria that are trying to kill us or make us ill. Virtually every element has useful purposes. So I just simply could not stay with an organization that said it was going to completely ban an element altogether when that element, chlorine, is in fact very important for public health, and without it we would not have made the advances in medicine and protection of public health that we have. So the lesson here for students and all learners is to be critical in our thinking when we're told, for example, that a certain chemical is harmful to our health. Like with chlorine, it's actually extremely beneficial to our health. There's often more than two sides to the story, and we have to look at it from all the different angles in order to come up with a logical conclusion that is actually based on science. Vinyl is one of the most versatile materials we have. One thing about vinyl that's different from other plastics is it can be made either rigid or soft and even really flexible. Especially in building materials, where vinyl is the most important plastic of all the plastics used in building. It's used for pipes, it's used for electrical conduit, wiring insulation, roofing, siding, decking, and many other uses. Vinyl is also one of the most important materials in medicine and healthcare. It is used for tubing, it's used for blood bags, it's used for gloves and caps, flooring and wall covering in healthcare facilities all around the world. Vinyl is one of the most intensively studied materials we have. It's been studied for over 50 years. The vinyl industry is one of the safest industries there is to work in. Vinyl workers have lower injuries and illnesses than the chemical industry in general and in the manufacturing sector as a whole. I've personally visited vinyl manufacturing plants, and I can tell you it's one of the safest working environments I've ever seen. This is a very high-tech industry that is producing a very important material for our society. The hard-working men and women that are making the vinyl in those plants are doing it under the very best environmental and occupational safety conditions. Vinyl has some of the best environmental attributes compared to other materials. For example, vinyl windows are really good at insulating our homes and reducing utility costs. White vinyl roofing material reflects the sun and reduces air conditioning costs in the summer. And vinyl pipe, or PVC pipe, is the best pipe for delivering water to our homes and requires less pumping energy when water is pumped uphill because it's so smooth on the inside. Vinyl is certainly not a static product. Over the 50 years that it's been used, it has evolved with better chemistry and more applications. So we can be certain that in the future it will be ever improving in terms of the methods that are used to manufacture it, the efficiency of its manufacture, and the applicability, its many uses. We'll see more uses in the future for this very versatile material. It's important to consider the life cycle of every product we use. That is, the full life cycle from when we extract it from the environment, in the case of taking natural gas out of the ground and salt from the salt beds for producing vinyl, the manufacture of the material, the use of it, and its final disposal after it's been used. Vinyl comes out really good in life cycle analysis. In terms of energy use, in terms of environmental impacts, it has one of the lowest of any material we use. One of the most important parts of the sustainability equation for the future is what's called green buildings. Buildings use about 40% of all the energy that is consumed every year, so it's very important from a sustainability and environmental impact point of view to consider how we construct and how we operate all our buildings. Vinyl plays a very important role in green building for a number of reasons. First, white vinyl roofing compared to black tar roofing is much better at reflecting sunlight and reducing energy costs, particularly for air conditioning in any building. Vinyl also protects the building materials. If you have a wooden frame structure and you put vinyl siding on it, that vinyl siding is going to protect that wood from weather and rot for decades. And that building will then last a lot longer, and that is part of sustainability as well. Vinyl also is the best material to use for windows in a building because its R factor, or its insulation, is much better than any other material, including wood and aluminum. Vinyl is one of the easiest materials to recycle. In the manufacturing process, for example, virtually all of the vinyl is converted into product. And most of those products have really long lifespans. They remain in service for decades. That's one of the reasons why not that much vinyl is being recycled. It's all still in use as pipes in the ground or siding and roofing on buildings. The vinyl that is disposed of eventually either goes safely into landfills. Interestingly, the landfills are often these days lined with a vinyl liner to prevent the contamination of groundwater. In addition, some vinyl goes to waste-to-energy plants where it is safely converted into electricity and heat for surrounding communities. Vinyl is also very affordable, and that is the economic side of its sustainability and why it's used in so many applications in buildings, for decking, for siding, for roofing, etc. If you add up all the vinyl materials that are consumed each year in North America, it saves consumers $20 billion a year compared to buying alternative materials. That's the affordability of vinyl. The affordability and versatility of vinyl helps keep healthcare costs down. Vinyl is used in so many applications in hospitals and other healthcare facilities, such as blood bags and intravenous tubing, which can easily be disinfected and don't break. They're flexible and pliable. In addition, flooring and wall covering can be made with vinyl, making it also very easy to clean and keep germs away from patients.
To learn more about the PVC vinyl industry, visit www.vinylanddesign.com.